To record it.
Hello, we're doing it now. Take two. Take two. Dipika, welcome to All Access.
Thank you.
Take two. You know what, guys? This is gonna be better than take one, actually. So, Dipika, welcome to All Access.
Thank you.
Like I said, we're going to have a discussion now and just spend some time together. I've known you for a few years, and I really believe that squash is lucky to have you playing in it. I always feel that people, when they talk about squash, they always say, yeah, squash, they associate it with England, they associate it with Australia, they associate it with even Pakistan.
Egypt.
And nowadays it's Egypt. But squash is a global game, right? And it's important for us to have interesting and amazing athletes and characters playing in all corners of the globe. So we're gonna switch things around now, and I want your honest opinion, not a cliche, not what you are supposed to say. I want your honest opinion. What would you like to say to the IOC? Very briefly, we don't want to give them too much of our time.
Beam! No, but...
Yeah, long beep. Beep. And we can fill it up as we want.
Yeah. No, I think...
like, honestly, what do you want to tell them?
You know, I think we're all done with showing IOC how good our sport is, how exciting our sport is. I think when we got in the bid for the second time, I was just not into it because IOC really can't see what beautiful game squash is, and it's just so annoying and so frustrating. But I think we obviously have to always look at the positives and always see that our game has grown leaps and bounds over the years, and it's because of the Olympics that we have grown. And even if they don't take us in, we're a beautiful sport, and we owe it to them to be there. But I think we have a great professional tour, and hopefully we just keep growing.
Yeah. So we were talking about me congratulating you, and congratulations on your wedding. Such a great step in anybody's life. And you were talking that in the summertime is where you focus on preparing for the off season, or during the off season, and getting ready for the new upcoming season. How was that preparation went for you, preparing for your wedding, not the season?
Yeah, the summer was a bit different actually. Usually you're on track, running, sprinting in the gym, lifting weights. This summer was actually all shopping and doing stuff.
Different types of sprinting.
Different, exactly. So it was actually a lot of fun. I mean, as an Indian wedding, or your full family comes down, it's about 500 to 600 guests every day.
Oh, wow.
And I'm the youngest of 3 daughters, so I got married first. So it was a very, very big event in my family. And it was amazing. I think till date, that's definitely been my best day of my life. And to come up from such a high of, we had 3 ceremonies and we had the best time of our lives. And then you come back into training, and then again you got to perform, and again you got to start winning. I think coming from such a high and then going down, I think it took me a while for me to get used to it. But after my wedding, I had 2 months off for the wedding. I got back training for about 3 weeks before the Macau Open, and I reached Macau Open and I thought I was ready, but I don't think my body was. So
or mine probably.
Or mine, yes. I think I was still in my honeymoon phase. Yeah, in my phase. But I think I think we obviously the summer has been really special for me. But there are a lot of things that I have to achieve, and coming back to reality, it's been a great tournament here for me until now, and I've got a big match tomorrow.
Yeah. So you said there were 3 ceremonies?
Yes, there
What
was.
were the 3 ceremonies?
So
usually
there's 7. There's
7
usually
ceremonies.
7 ceremonies
So
in
what's the breakdown?
Indian. So because I'm Christian, we had a Christian ceremony, and then because he's Hindu, we had a Hindu ceremony, and then we
What's
had
the third? The official one?
No,
the henna.
Actually, the main ceremony was the Hindu and the Christian.
Okay.
We just put in a henna ceremony.
Nice.
But we combined 2 ceremonies, a Christian and another ceremony called a Sangeet, where you just dance and drink all night.
Nice.
So we combined that, and then I didn't sleep for the entire week of my wedding. I was exhausted.
The main event took about a week from beginning to end?
I think the whole preparation, yes. I had my bachelorette, then I had a few other ceremonies which I had to go for, so probably a week.
Your husband is an athlete?
He is, he's a cricketer.
He's a cricketer?
Yes.
Did he play squash when...
He only played squash for the first week of our relationship to impress
And
me.
who won that match?
I would like to say him, but it was me.
Yeah, but
Yes.
is he addicted to the sport once he played it?
He
or?
actually really likes watching squash. He actually, before he met me, he didn't know anything about squash, but he
Nice.
actually knows all the girls' name, all the boys' names on the circuit now,
Nice.
and he knows what tournaments are where, and
Nice.
which ones I have to go for. So he's learning it just like how I'm learning cricket. I had no clue about cricket
Nice.
before. So, yeah.
I want to ask you a question which is related to how you started to play squash. Usually when we get that question, it's always, yeah, my mom owned a squash court or my dad was the manager of a squash club. How did you get involved in the sport?
My parents had no clue about squash. Even I don't think any of us in my family knew what squash was.
So it wasn't your parents?
No, it was
Not
definitely not my parents. No.
You're not like the 99%
No,
of us squash
I'm that
players.
1%.
Yeah.
Yes.
So how was that?
So my best friend, we've been best friends since we were 2 years old. We stayed in the same apartment, and we've been best friends ever since. She went for a summer camp in the academy in Chennai, and it was one Saturday morning, and we usually spend Saturday and Sunday, every Saturday and Sunday together from like 8 o'clock in the morning to 9 o'clock at night. And then one Saturday morning, her mom said, I'm going to probably take her for squash lessons, and I was like, I cannot be away from my friend for 1 hour. Can I please come along? And then she said, okay, run up and go and ask your mom if you can actually play squash or come with me. So I went and knocked my parents' door, and I said, can I play squash? And mom was like, you're not going anywhere, sit and study. And I was like, please, I'm not, I haven't spent any time with my best friend, and I would really want to spend time with her. I promise I won't take long, it's only for an hour. So okay, fine, go. I cried, I did threw all the tantrums, like, okay, fine, go. And went there and absolutely loved it. I think my parents came the third week wanting to know what I'm actually doing away from them on the weekends, and they saw improvement, and that's how they started supporting me.
Personal question, does your best friend still play squash?
No, after I beat her, she stopped, and then
Yeah?
she's like, okay, I need to shift to my sport.
Does she follow up with your
She
progress?
does. She
and-
actually does. She comes to a few tournaments. She used to stay in New York because she used to study for 5 years. So she used to watch me play at the TOC and come down to Philadelphia.
Does she ask you for royalties when you win a match?
No,
Like
she
she doesn't say, you owe this to me.
She
You
usually
have to
says
take me
that.
for dinner.
Yeah, because whenever I give interviews, I always say, my best friend, helped me play squash. She's like, can you say my name so I can become like famous?
Can you say her name?
Pranita Redbala, everyone.
Renita, you've done a good thing right now. It's good. So another question I want to ask you is, growing up, did you have an idol? Not compared to, it doesn't have to be squash specifically, or I like this person much, but growing up in a country where squash wasn't considered a powerhouse, growing up for me, for example, I always get that question. I never had an idol, but for me, because the way my life was situated, I was always rooting for that underdog who people write him off and he's not expected to win.
Yeah.
Anybody who's in that situation was always my idol. For me, is there somebody you related to growing up, was an athlete or a writer or any sort of person where you saw successful that you related to and tried to have him as a push for you?
I think my biggest idol has been my mother for many reasons, because she captained the Indian cricket team in her days, and she used to tell me her stories, how they had to pay their own staff and how they used to go by trains, sitting in trains for 3 days because they didn't have money for a flight. And because in Indian culture during that time you had to get married when you were 22, 23. So my mom got married when 22 and she had to stop playing the sport. And she was a brilliant athlete, and I think she wanted to see one of her 3 daughters play for the country and do really well. And I think I took inspiration from that. And I think my mom's been my biggest supporter,
Nice.
and anything and everything I need, she's always been there for me.
Nice. So last time I went to India, I've been driven around the city in a car, and it's great to see. We have this a bit in Egypt, where you drive around in India.
Beep, 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 beep,
No. This is a given. This we're used to.
Yeah.
But it's nice to get driven around in India and then see this huge billboard in the street and see your picture on it. Or, for example, open a mainstream magazine and see Saurav's picture on
Yes.
it, and then walk around and then see Joshna's picture also around, and it's like you guys are celebrity athletes. And for me, I always think that in Egypt, at least, I don't know how it is for you guys, that we're known more than the sport. And this comes with great responsibility, and
Yeah.
it's nice sometimes and it's not nice
Not nice
sometimes
sometimes,
when you
yes.
miss your privacy. But
Yes.
how do you perceive you and your face and your name being well known and established in India? Does that put pressure on you? Do you enjoy it, or?
I actually enjoy it. To be honest, since I was a kid, the only thing I wanted to do was play squash. Be winning or losing, that all came secondary for me, and it is still like that because I love the sport. I love traveling around the world. Yes, when you go back home, you have expectations, to do really well. Like last year, we had the Commonwealth Games and the Asian Games, and we had a lot of pressure to perform because I remember we had to win medals to be an elite sport, otherwise all our sponsorship from the government was going to get cancelled. So I think there was a lot of pressure, but I actually enjoy it. I take it as motivation because if it's not going to motivate you, it's a really bad thing to get on court and have all that pressure. So it motivates me in a way, but I just enjoy playing this sport, really, just love the sport.
So now that you've been playing on the pro tour for a few years, I've been on tour for 20 years, and after a while I always used to have to find some way to get motivated and find a reason for me to stay in the city I'm in and not get bored, because if I'm bored and I'm not feeling happy in the place I'm in, I'm usually the first one to bolt. For me, I've always been, I'm going to do this 100%, I'm not going to do it at all.
Yes.
So what, for example, you've been to many different cities around the world, and what do you like to do when you're in a city when you're not? Our lifestyle is there's 60 to 90 minutes every day.
Yes.
That's what we're doing. We're trying to win and achieve our targets in 60 to 90 minutes. But this leaves around 12 to 15 hours of downtime. What do you try and do in your downtime when you're in New York, when you're in Cannes, or you're in Vegas, or you're in London, Paris, Frankfurt? What do you like to do?
I'm a girl, I love shopping.
Shopping. That's great because that would never end. There's always more.
And the good thing is I have a husband now, so I can just take the credit cards and run away.
Nice. Wrapped in a ribbon. Nice. Okay, I'm sorry, but I know how you feel.
No, but I think as far as squash is concerned, for me, I've not really been home for the longest time because we don't really have the best infrastructure back home. And for me personally, it's when I go back home, it's really comfort for me. And when I'm training, I do not like to feel that comfort. I like to be pushed to a corner and I have to train by myself, and that's how I feel. That's how I train really hard. When I'm back home, the Indian culture, you've got helpers back home, you've got drivers to drive you around, you've got your mom and dad pampering you, then you go to the gym once in a while, you go for squash, and then you come back again. So I don't like that comfort when I'm training. I really like to go outside and train, come back to a hotel room, have nothing to do, sleep, get up, that whole routine again.
Yeah.
But for the last 2 years, I've actually been home. Since I've got engaged, I've tried to come back home and spend more time with family, and it's really worked for me because I've lived outside my house, outside India since I was 13. So I really needed to come back, feel like, I'm home again, feel like, there are people around me who actually take care of me, because since I was 13, I was doing everything by myself.
So where were you since you were 13?
My first place I actually moved to was Egypt. I was there for 4 years. I was obviously not based there, but on and off for like 4-5 years. And I think Egypt got to me a bit, and then moved
it's
away.
not the relaxing city. There's so much happening. I always compare Cairo to like New York in the sense that there's so much happening.
So many,
Every day is like 72 hours.
Yes,
you know?
No, too many things happening, and I liked it for a bit. I mean, I got used to the language, I got used to the culture, got used to the people. But I think a few countries can do that to you. It just got to me, and I wanted to come back home. So I came back home for a year or so, and then I moved to Melbourne.